remember what I told you. When you are doing a border, it is important not to just cut a strip and stitch it down and cut off the excess. That will cause you a lot more headaches. And if not you, it will cause your log armor a lot more headaches than it's worth. Just trust me on this, okay? Can't tell you how many inches of fabric I've had to cut off of a border because the feed dogs will pull in more fabric than you actually need, and then all of a sudden you have this lumpy, wavy thing. On short quilts, it's not so bad, but on these bigger ones, like the ones we're doing with the log cabin ones, it's not so good. It really isn't. So remember we talked about this. Let me grab my... Oop, knocking stuff off the walls. So what you want to do is you want to measure, and what they tell you to do is to measure the center, get your measurement, then measure the top, and then measure the bottom, and then do the average. Basically, what I feel about it is measure your center. So my center on this one is 53 inches. You're going to cut 2 pieces at 53 inches. And this is not for a mitered, this is just for a box corner. So you cut 2 pieces at 53 inches and you get it to fit up top at 53 inches. This will help to square up your quilt as well. So that's exactly what I've done. When I remeasured this quilt, the next row is 75 inches. So this side, this part was 72 inches, and the next one is 75 inches. All right. So let me come down here. Okay. So this is what we're going to do. To hold it, because I'm only one person here, I'm going to take my end and put it right sides together and pin this down. And I'm pinning it like this to get it so I can get it out down here. Then I'm going to put my needle into the fabric to hold it. And then once I do that, sorry guys, I got to come back up here. Once I do that, then I'm going to stretch out my fabric like this. I don't know how much of it you can see because it's hard for me to tell where it's at. So I'm going to take it and stretch it out, find my end, making sure that my fabric doesn't get twisted, and I'm going to pin it right here to the end, just like this. And this is how I do it, basically one-handed, because there's only me here to try to do this. All right, get the majority of the fabric up here because I don't want to put a big stress on that pin that's holding it in there. Then I'm going to stretch it out. You see how far down I am? And I'm going to find my center, which I feel like is right about there. Okay? You follow me? So here's my center, where my border's at. Right sides together, and I'm going to pin it. And I can let go of that one end because now that I have it right here, I'm good. So I'm going to pin it right here, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to go to the center between that pin and that pin, and I'm going to pin it again. And then I'm going to do the same thing here, and I'm going to pin it again. And I'm going to pin it as often as I feel like I need to make sure it stays secure. Sheila, you're so funny. Sheila says the one I screwed up. I'm assuming she's talking about the quilt that we're going to start working on next month. You didn't screw up anything. You just got sidetracked. Okay, so we're going to, hang on, let me move the camera one more time. Okay, so what I've done is I pulled it out. I'm going to stick this one underneath here, right at that center spot. to make it a little easier to manage. Okay, so once we've got that underneath there, now we can work on this side. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to find the center. Find the center again. Find the center again. And we're just going to do this all the way down the side until we get as many pins in there that you need to feel like you've got it where you want it. In this one instance, I put a lot of pins in because it tends to slide. And I'd rather have a couple extra pins in there to hold it so that when I'm stitching it down, by the time it makes it to the next side, the other side it hasn't slidden out of the way. And we just keep going. And if you notice, it actually falls right into line. Now you have the exact amount evened out all the way through the quilt. Watch your top, your foot. You want to make sure your pressure foot is just the right amount of pressure to keep it in line without squishing it and causing it to pull the fabric. You don't want it to pull the fabric, so hopefully you have an adjustment on your sewing machine to help you adjust that. Okay, so let's go over here. Now, there's a lot of fabric up here on this table, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of find a way to get the fabric up here and just feed in a little bit at a time. All right, let's make sure this is not getting out of the way here. All right, you see what I did there? A walking foot is good too. Although I kind of dread my walking foot. On my luminaire, I actually have a differential feed foot that I love. Love, because it's like, it has like a conveyor belt on it that basically pushes or pulls the fabric at the same speed that the feed dogs are pulling it in. So everything gets pulled in at the same time, and I love that. I love that about it, but I don't use my luminaire for just everyday sewing. I actually use it for a lot of embroidery and leave it for my embroidery. As you see, it tried to slide over here. So you want to slow down and go, keep your hands on it. You'll find that if you go too fast, it will try to slide on you. I lost you. Everything just quit. Am I still on, guys? Miss Claudine, go out and come back in again, okay? Or let me know. Tell somebody else. Let me know if there's a problem with my feed. Unless, oh nope, I got battery power on my microphone has battery power. I use the luminaire for everything now. Love it. Well, that's true, but you keep your luminaire close. I mean, your luminaire stays in the same place. Mine, on the other hand, is out with my quilting machine, so that while I'm working on quilting, I can also set up something for embroidery. So that's why mine is not always handy. Oh, good. Miss Claudine says she turned it off and turned it back on, and it worked. I'm paraphrasing a little bit there, but that's basically what she said. That's good. Yeah, if something goes out, because sometimes it's, the internet or some crazy thing happens, then I find the best thing to do is just turn it off and turn it back on again. All right. So I know this takes a little bit longer than if you just, put down a piece of fabric and follow it along. Unfortunately, there's a price you pay for trying to do it quickly. And it usually involves your machine putting too much fabric on one side rather than the other. And this just helps to keep that nice and steady and even. It's not a guarantee, but it sure does help an awful lot. And just take your time, you know, you don't have to whip through this all in one, you know, presser foot press. I mean, stop and adjust and stop and adjust. Okay, so that's one side done. We'll iron that later. And I don't even think I have the other side, the last border prepared. So we might work on something else. Here, you know what? I'm going to turn it around and do it this way so you guys can see me. All right, let me change my camera real quick. I think I lost my mouse. There's so much fabric. Lord have mercy, there's so much fabric. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it this direction, and we're going to do it again. Because I have one more border, and then it's on to the third border, but I don't have the third border prepared. Well, you know, I could bring it over and get it over here. Yeah, we could do that. That's the ticket. All right, so once again, I'm going to slide this right here, pin it down, and let me show you what I'm doing. Okay, so I pin this little section on here like this. This piece right here is 75 inches. I'm going to use my needle down, and that is going to hold it steady for me so that I can continue on. Okay, so here's what I did. Basically, I just followed it out because I want to make sure that it's not going to turn around. The worst thing that can happen is as you're trying to get this huge long piece on is that the fabric turns. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you're following the fabric all the way out until you get to the other side, and then you can pin it. Once you pin it, it should be fine. You shouldn't be turned. Okay? And even with following the fabric, I see that it's actually turning out, that it's to the edge. There's no extra, there's no bunching up. And that's the way it should work out. But sometimes because of how many seams you may have more in the center of the quilt, you may find that your quilt gets a little bit of an hourglass shape. And that's why they tell you to measure the center, the top, and the bottom, and then to average that. That's the whole reason why they do that. Just because of the more seams you have, especially towards the center, it just kind of draws it in. And you could stretch it out a little bit with all those seams, but sometimes there can be as much as 1.5 to 3 inches difference between what you have on your center of your quilt as opposed to what's on the outside of your quilt. So if you're putting a border on something like that, it's creating a whole area of issues. So that's why I usually say go from the center, because at least then maybe we'll be able to ease it in some, which is not one of my favorite sayings. Okay, so once again, we're going to pull it up. We're going to find that center, like right there. Okay, found my center. And we're going to pin it down. I actually like doing it from the other side just because I can see the border. I can see how it's going on. And then we're going to come here, and we're going to match up that edge and pin it in what looks like the center. And then we're going to pin it again. I don't know if you can see me because I'm down here by my sewing machine. And then we're going to pin it again. Okay. And then we're going to pull this up. Remember to go forward. Always turn the knob on your sewing machine forward. Never go backwards. That is a boo-boo that too many of us make. And then I'm going to go down in there like that. And then I'm going to start working on the other end. Now let me get back over here. I know you can't see a whole lot, and I so apologize for that. Audio. Hey.
Hey.
What you doing?
Experimenting with your cakes.
I wondered who's been eating those. Y'all, I made cakes for strawberry shortcake last night, and when I got up this morning, there was a few less cakes out there.
I put Nutella on top.
Ooh, I bet that tastes good.
And this one I put Nutella and marshmallow on top.
Ooh, Nutella and marshmallow on a vanilla cake. I have a little secret. I added a little bit of strawberry extract into there to give it a little more of a strawberry flavor. Can you taste it?
I don't know.
Probably not with the Nutella and the marshmallow on there.
Sweetness.
All right, and we keep pinning down the edge. I know it's hard to see, guys. I'm so sorry. It's just I don't seem to have a camera that points all the way down to the sewing machine. And then we're going to pin this one right here. That's the center of this section. And if you work in sections, it helps a whole lot more. All right, and we keep pinning down the edge. I know it's hard to see, guys. I'm so sorry. It's just I don't seem to have a camera that points all the way down to the sewing machine. And then we're going to pin this one right here. That's the center of this section. And if you work in sections, it helps a whole lot more. I had really hoped to have time. The last one we did together to demonstrate this, but it was just getting so late. I mean, we were like 2 hours in, and I'm like, oh, I really didn't want to keep you guys on there that much longer than 2 hours. Wow. But anyways. But yeah, if you go in and you watch my videos, just make sure you like them. Make sure you like them because unfortunately I had somebody go through and just not like a good portion of my videos. Like one person, it seemed like we just went through, I can't really tell who it was, but it seemed like one person went in and did a thumbs down on every single one of my videos. It's like, oh, well, okay. Well, if you didn't like it, I wouldn't mind finding out why you didn't like it. I mean, one person wrote me and just said, you know, it's not top quality. Well, no, I'm just an average quilter doing my thing, trying to share my knowledge. I'd like to say I have a wealth of knowledge that I'd like to share with everybody, but I got a few things rolling around in my head. You know, this machine, this PQ 1500, it's a brother machine, is really fast. But I find that, you know, I don't need it to really be fast because I feel like when it goes really fast, that's when I make mistakes. But on the other hand, when I start using other machines and they only go so fast, I'm like, oh, I missed my PQ. Because I think even at its half speed, it still goes pretty quickly compared to some of the others. I mean, and I've got a Janome, I've got 2 featherweights, I've got, oh my gosh, I got another one underneath one of my long arms that I barely take it out. I think it's one of my just in case machines. Oh, I do have a small brother embroidery machine. It only has a 4x4 though. And if anybody has ever purchased an embroidery machine and decided to go with, you know, the smaller one because it was less expensive, pretty soon you have what they call hoop envy. which is kind of funny because I know exactly what they're talking about. I was always glad. The first embroidery machine I ever really bought was a Brother Dream machine, and I'm going to tell you what, I loved it, and I always did the biggest hoop I could find. Even now, I still try to do really big hoops. I try to do all the stuff in large hoops. Although, on those eggs, I really want to do some small ones. I just think it would be so neat. Has anybody ever used the dry, what the heck do they call it? One of our teachers came in and she talked about it. A teacher of the guild, dry polyester packing. Here, let me show you what well, you can't really see it. I'll show you in a minute. But it's dry polyester packing. It really does have a different texture than regular polyfill. It's kind of cool. I mean, when you stuff with it, it stays where it's supposed to, where you stick the stuffing. It doesn't seem to clump up. Okay. And that is our second one. We're going to start the next journey, which our next adventure is called, dun dun dun, it's called Sundials and Cobblestones. But you don't get to see what it looks like until we get further on into it. So maybe sometime in April I'll show it to you. You'll start to see it develop as we go each week to each week. So what we're doing is we are doing the blocks in steps. There are 2 different blocks, but there are so many different steps to make this work, and I wanted it to be something that you could do. So what we're going to do is we're going to assign you. We're going to tell you to cut this, and then we're going to get together and we're going to sew those together. And then we're going to do those steps. And then we get together next Sunday, you're going to tell you what you need to cut, and then we'll do it together the next Sunday after you get your cutting done. Sundials and cobblestones. And I can't wait for you to see it. It's really pretty. Sheila helped me bring that vision to life by helping me write the pattern in steps. Let's see, what else do we have? Don't forget to post your pictures of your quilt tops. Even if you don't get them quilted right away, at least post, give me the pictures of your quilt tops so that I can post them onto the SRQ page. And I am still working on trying to get another page together for us to just do these adventures. Maybe we'll call it SRQ Adventures or Adventures in SRQ or something like that. I don't know. We'll stick with the adventure thing. Excuse me. Let's see, what else? Let's see, embroidery, start that. I don't know, am I missing something? Sheila, have I forgotten anything? I'm just looking forward to keeping this going. We're going to be back on next Sunday. Hopefully I'll be working on another project, UFO. Again, we're just going to talk some more. Oh, the kits. One more time, the kits. You can purchase a kit through me. I have 4 different kits available. Well, actually, I think I'm sold out of A, but I still have B, C, and D. Oh, thank you, Miss Sheila, for letting me know that I don't think I forgot anything. Okay, A kit. I think I'm sold out of A's, but I still have B, C's, and D's kits available. You can see those on the Facebook page, the SRQ Facebook page. That should be pinned to the top. If you decide you'd like to buy a kit, just let me know. I'll send you an invoice. You can either pay for it through PayPal, Zelle, Venmo, whatever you got, and or we can meet up at some point. If you are seeing this and you are on YouTube and you would like to join us, all I need at first is just for you to message me your email, and then I can send you out the fabric requirements, and you can follow along with us. You can do it on Saturdays, or you can wait for the YouTube's. Do it on the Sundays with us, or you can follow us on the YouTube. And that's fine. Either way you want to do it. If you decide later after we get this going, I'm going to go look for me. Yep. I think I sent them out on Tuesday. No. Sheila, when did I send out that email to y'all? And I sent it from my personal account, not from my business account, which I apologize for. Again, I was not paying attention. Stop. Something came up as I was trying to tap, and it tapped right into it. Nope, not what I wanted. Sorry, y'all. Hang on. I'm getting there. Sally draft. SRQ. Rolling green. Chris, no. That is Sally. Your next adventure. February 16th. Looks like I sent it out February 16th. Why does that say draft? Oh. I don't know what that was about. Yeah, I don't know why there was a draft on there. Anyways, never mind. February 16th is when I sent those out. And again, it was sent from my personal. That's why it is not listed as SRQ. So go in there, find it. Your fabric requirements are on there. Again, YouTubers, if you are interested in doing this with us, as long as you send me your email and start before we get started, then you can follow along at no charge. If you decide afterwards that you would like to, thank you. Yep, because I think I actually posted it after midnight on the 16th. Sorry, y'all. I'm one of those late people. I'm up all night long. If you would like to join us, and we've already started, you are more than welcome to join us. You'll just have to go into my Etsy shop, which is SRQ Quilters.etsy. No. I don't know. Look in the details. It's underneath here somewhere. It's like srqquilters.etsy.com, something like that. But you will find the link in this video, and you will also find it on the YouTube in the description, I believe. Yep. Okay. Oh, srqquilter.etsy.com. Yeah. For the patterns. That will be coming out, but they won't be coming out until after we do the first video on the 3rd. So you'll probably see it on the 4th. Okay. I feel like I'm dwelling on that just a little too much, y'all. Hopefully you find it, Miss Laura. Let me know if you have any problems with it. Anybody else that was supposed to have gotten the video or gotten the pattern, make sure you're not, it's not the pattern. Oh, y'all, I'm just so scatterbrained today. If you were supposed to have received it already, look in your spam because I sent it from a different email address. The email will start with Rob Lee. So check that out, and that's where you'll find the first fabric requirements for this. You should have all the information. It's a huge, long email. I apologize. It was really long, explaining when we're going to start and a few other things. And again, there's fabric on there. One of it is to help you look and see the kind of gradation that I used for the fabrics. So that might help you find a color you like. And you don't have to do it in the colorway that I did it. You can pick reds, you can pick oranges, purples, whatever you want to do. If you want to do them in opposing colors, but try to go with the light, medium, dark, and darker. Or darker would be like your focus fabric, okay? And I was hoping to talk about that, so I'm glad we kind of threw that on there. Anyways, all right, so does anybody have any questions? And again, check me out. If you're starting on this late, just go to my Etsy. You'll find the fabric requirements there. You'll find the you'll also find the patterns when they post, and they will post later. And again, I will have the Adventures in Log Cabin up as a whole pattern where you can purchase the whole thing at one time. It will basically be the same price as if you bought each one individually. So, you know, don't wait around for it. Just go ahead and get the ones, you know, go ahead and buy all of them if you want to get started right away. Otherwise, you know, it's going to be a couple more weeks before I get this pattern ready and loaded in its entirety. All right. Y'all have been wonderful. I'm sorry. I feel like I really babbled a lot there at the last 5 minutes, maybe even the whole thing. Who knows? But I thank you for joining me. I thank you for being on here with me. Next week will pretty much be more of the same. We're just going to kind of talk a little bit. We're going to work on some of the quilts, maybe a UFO. Hopefully I can finish up the last of my log cabins so I can get them all quilted. And then I will eventually have those on my Etsy shop for sale. The B one already sold, so it's already gone. But I do have, not this one, but another one The one I did 3 years ago, the one I did 3 years ago, and the one I did on the actual stitching on the video. That one will also be up there for sale. So feel free to go look and see if it's something you'd like to have. And that one was designed by me, pieced by me, quilted by me, and it'll have a label on the back to have hopefully my signature on there. Oh, you guys are so welcome. Thank you, Laura. I appreciate that. Remember to give me a thumbs up in this video and in likes in the video. Let's see. Subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. If you're following on Facebook, make sure you're a subscriber or a follower. That way, when content does come up, new content comes up, you can take a quick look and decide if you want to watch. If you don't, it's okay. I understand. It just helps me a lot to grow my video audience and to be able to reach more people. And that's my thing. You know, I love to share my knowledge, and I want to reach out to more people. So I just thank you guys for following along and being with me in this journey, especially at the very beginning. You know, you guys have been in here all along with me, and I'm so grateful for that. Well, let's go ahead and do a quick prayer, because you know I like to pray at the end of each one, even if it's just a short one. All right, here we go. Father, thank you once again for another wonderful Sunday with friends, with family, getting together and sharing what we know, getting together and being able to speak and talk and share the knowledges that we have gained over this time. We just give you all the honor for that, give you all the glory. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. You guys have a wonderful week. Contact me if you need help, if you're interested in a kit, whatever. If you just want to chit chat, you're welcome to just text me, write me, email me, whatever. You have my information. You guys have been wonderful, and I really, really love you guys.